You're with Left, Right and Centre. I'm Ankita Mukherjee. Days after the central government strongly spoke out in court against the practice of triple talaq, an equally strong response from the Muslim Law Board, which said today that it would boycott a Law Commission questionnaire on the issue. The Muslim Personal Law Board accused the government of preparing for internal war. However, there are divisions within the Muslim community on the issue, with many women's groups speaking out against triple talaq. As the Muslim body challenges the Law Commission, we ask tonight, have personal law and fundamental rights become mutually exclusive?
The Muslim Personal Law Board presenting a united face against the government and against women's groups who want change. They have made it clear they will boycott the Law Commission's questionnaire that asks for feedback on ending the practice of triple talaq.
मर्द और औरतें उसी कानून पर जिंदा हैं और अमल करते हैं रात में और दिन में। आज क्या मसला है कि हम ये समझते हैं ये धोखा है, धोखा, इसकी कोई वास्तविकता और हकीकत नहीं है। काल इस्लाम की मुखालफत में बोल रही है, उसके फेवर में नहीं बोल रही है।
That if there are groups which feel that, do you think that the Muslim Personal Law Board will consider what they think?
No. Why only few people, few women? They will consider that, whereas more women are pro All India Muslim Personal Law Board.
The Muslim groups say this is a move by the Modi government to divert attention from real internal security issues. But feminists who are fighting for reforms in triple talaq and polygamy point out that the Muslim Personal Law Board is the one that is out of sync.
कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं जिनकी जो विचारधारा है वो पितृसत्ता से भरी विचारधारा है। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने भी हम अपना संवैधानिक दायित्व निभाते हुए राय दी है, जिसका हम स्वागत करते हैं।
The question now, will all political parties back it?
लॉ कमीशन का जो क्वेश्चनेयर है हम उसका जरूर जवाब देंगे और जब जवाब तैयार हो जाएगा उनको भिजाएंगे और आपको भी उसको बताएंगे।
मेरा मानना है कि विदाउट पॉलिटिकल प्रेजुडिस कि हमें खुले तौर से इस पर चर्चा करनी चाहिए।
For their part, the Law Commission head, Justice B.S. Chauhan, said they will go by the Constitution and the will of the people. But they don't want to force any majority view on minorities. Last week, the government told the Supreme Court that it wants to end triple talaq, which allows Muslim men to divorce their wives by saying talaq 3 times.
Question really is, who speaks for the Muslims in India? Is it the women's groups backed by progressive men? Or is it these community leaders who see every suggestion for change as an attack on the Muslim community? With Arunachalam Vaidyanathan in New Delhi, Sunetra Chaudhary for NDTV.
Well, joining us on Left, Right and Centre tonight, Faryab Jilani from the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, Maria Salim, member of the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan, also with us tonight, Sambit Patra from the BJP, and Flavia Agnes, lawyer and activist. Faryab Jilani, let me begin with you. The Muslim Personal Law Board today saying that the law panel's questionnaire on the Uniform Civil Code and related issues is a fraud, that Muslims will boycott it, that the law panel is pushing the government's agenda on the Uniform Civil Code, and that the centre will now create an internal war. Now, very, very strong statements coming from you. This was meant to be a questionnaire that was going to start a debate, just get feedback, multiple viewpoints on the issue. Why are you so dead set against it?
You see, there is no question of debate on a personal law because that is protected under Article 25 of the Constitution of India. Matter is being considered by the Supreme Court, that is a judicial forum where the question is about the validity of the law. But there, so far as Law Commission is concerned, it has no business to have a debate on this question. If they want to have the opinion of the Muslims, they can hold a referendum in one city or one district or one state and exclusively of Muslim women. Because if they want to know whether Muslim women want a change in personal law, it can be ascertained only by that process. Otherwise, we are sure, what we feel that more than 90% Muslim women and more than 90% Muslim men do not want any change in Muslim personal law. They want to be governed by the law of Shariat, which has its source in Quran and Hadith, and which has been interpreted by Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Malik, and Imam Hanbal. Therefore, we do not want. There are other groups also, two groups at least well known fiqhs. That is Fiqh Jafriya and a group known as Ahl Hadith. Definitely there are some internal differences, but both they are also based upon Quran and Hadith. But we follow Imam Abu Hanifa. Therefore, we have a protection under the Constitution of India that whatever religion we want, we can practice it. That is law laid down by the Supreme Court, at least in 4 cases, that personal laws have got a protection under the Constitution, and they cannot be tested on the basis of Articles 14 and 15. So that is what our stand is before the Supreme Court, and whatever Supreme Court holds, we will see. Because Supreme Court has already held for 66 years, that is the law laid down by the Supreme Court. Therefore, there is no question of Law Commission which is inquiring from us.
But the Supreme Court has also very recently asked for opinions on this. It's asked for the central government's position, which of course the centre has given in that affidavit very recently. So of course now going back all those years perhaps would be a bit problematic. But Maria Salim, let me take this to you now. Your organization, the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan, has opposed triple talaq in the Supreme Court. Do you believe that the Muslim Law Board should presume to speak for the entire community?
No, absolutely not. What I don't understand sometimes is where does this number 90% come from? When I say 50,000 to 1 lakh women, when I say 5,000 women, I have study backing what I'm saying. One is this. Second, I think it's perfectly fine what the Law Commission is doing right now because it's a democratic process. Me as an Islamic feminist who belongs to the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan, I am free and free to say that I do not believe in the Uniform Civil Code at all. And I think that there needs to be reform from within in Muslim personal law, which anyway is it's a colonial legacy. It was adopted by the British not as a matter of religion but as a matter of policy. So I completely oppose triple talaq as being un-Quranic and unconstitutional, and that is the stand that Burma takes, and therefore there needs to be a reform from within. But the Law Commission it's a very democratic exercise that it has undertaken, and I don't understand the numbers that the board talks of.
Samit Patra, come in on this because today it's not just the Law Commission that's been attacked by the Muslim Personal Law Board, it's the government. They've gone so far as to say that this is the centre opening an internal war. How do you respond?
No, my simple answer would be, look, as far as I had in fact heard the complete press conference, and the exact word used for the government and the Law Commission was aware, which translates to English word illegal. That means the government of India is illegal, and that means that the Law Commission is illegal. And in a way, obliquely, by obliquely, I would say directly, it also implies that the Supreme Court of this country is illegal, because the Supreme Court of the country on various previous occasions has asked the government to implement Article 44, which is a directive principle. The Supreme Court also, during the Shah Bano case, had come down heavily on the government, saying that why the Article 44, that is Uniform Civil Code, is a dead letter. It has to be implemented in spirit across the territory of India. So to say that the government is illegal, Law Commission illegal, and Supreme Court is illegal is something for which I believe I should not dignify with a comment. Secondly, the language that was used in the press conference would have been avoided, like there would be an internal strife or an internal war, and jute patte chalenge, that kind of word in fact would do injustice to the Muslim community. What I mean to say is, looking Uniform Civil Code through the myopic prism of religion would not justify Uniform Civil Code. I have the questionnaire, the 16 questions that in fact was released by the Law Commission. And if you would go to the question number 6 to 9, you would realize that almost all the religions that have been practiced in India have been questioned. For instance, I'll just quote one of the questions so that the viewers in fact get the taste of what the questions are all about. As far as Hinduism is concerned, the question number 8 asks, do you think that steps should be taken to ensure that Hindu women are better able to exercise the right to property, which is often bequeathed to sons under customary practices? Then we have our Christians, question number 9. Do you agree that 2-year period of waiting for finalizing divorce violates Christian women's right to equality? So naturally it is not about just one religion. It's not about Muslim or the Hindu religion. It is about gender parity. It is based on the principles of gender equality and non-discrimination.
I think that's a very important point that's being made. And Flavia, Agnes, if you would like to come in on this, as far as the Law Commission's questionnaire goes, 16 questions, all of which reflect on gender parity, and that's not religion specific. That's equally about Hinduism, it's about Christianity. Why do you think we have seen such a strong response really from the Muslim Personal Law Board, and is it justified? Are their concerns justified?
I just want to say UCC is not just Article 44. It is a political agenda. If it is a political agenda of particular party, and I think we cannot move away from that. And the entire way the question is framed, in a way it targets Muslim community. Now in that context, even the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan, which has approached the Supreme Court through an intervention application, has very clearly said that Muslim women do not want a uniform civil code. What they want is reform from within. And I subscribe to the same notion that every community, every religion is capable of bringing changes within their religion, within their laws, which is amenable to the community, to the women, to the men. And I think that process is very, very important. I just want to say here a few things. The questionnaire said something about property rights. I want to say in Hindu marriage, how many things are discriminatory to the women, which we never talk about. It is Brahminical and it's anti-women. For instance, the ritual of performing marriage, there is Homa, there is Saptapadi, and there is Kanyadan. Do you know what is Kanyadan? That a father gives away his daughter to the husband as a gift, as a dan. Right. And thereafter the doors of the maternal home are closed on her. That is why we have such a high rate of women committing suicide. That is why the issue of dowry and dowry that still haunts us. It haunts no other community the way Hindu community is haunted. The issue of caste and the issue of caste violence. You have Sapinda marriage, you have Sagotra marriages, and as a legal entity.
Yes,
and you have intercaste marriages where the girls are killed by their own family because for violating caste purity lines. No other community has caste system. No other community has
your point then that this questionnaire does not take these issues into account?
Marriage. The way we are projecting is Hindu law is perfect, Muslim law is bad, or Christian law is bad.
But doesn't the questionnaire actually bring about, ask questions across religions? It talks about ensuring Hindu women have are better able to exercise their right to property as well. So why this problem with the questionnaire itself or opening up a debate on the subject?
I'm not even talking about property. Let us talk about marriage. Let us talk about, we have a judgment which says that a Hindu husband cannot be asked by the wife to separate because that is the Indian culture, that is the Hindu culture. Joint family system is the Indian culture. This judgment came last week. What do you have to say for that? And no other
I think Sambit Patra actually does have a response for you.
Parents, and this is a Hindu undivided joint family culture that prevails in India. Yes, and this is a Hindu ethos.